try not to screw this up.
All right. I've been having issues with the Galaxie ignition-wise. The key will turn over and some lights come on, but it won't do anything. No clicking, nothing. So after some research, I'm thinking it's a neutral safety switch. Well, in a lot of these, a lot of these, the neutral safety switch is on the steering column. And mine, unfortunately, is in the center console because my shifter is not up here. It is down here in the center console, which I'll show you here soon. So the neutral safety switches are totally different from the console to the steering column. I'm having trouble finding any kind of replacement for it too, for the 65 to 66 console. So I'm guessing it's, I don't know if it's rare or what, but they're very, very hard to find. And the ones I have been able to find on eBay, and only eBay, everybody's wanting like $120 for them. So, and that must mean, because all the rest of them are about $40 or $50 in different years, or the same year, but for the steering column. So I'm guessing it's something that's rare. And those, the $120 is for an original, in the original box, you know, back from that era. So they don't make them anymore. So anyways, I couldn't find any videos or information even about where to locate the neutral safety switch on a 65 Galaxie or 66 Galaxie with a center console shifter. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to show you guys how to take it apart, and I've already actually taken it apart, taken this switch out, but I put it all back in just so I could film this video for somebody out there, just in case you run upon it and need a little help finding a neutral safety switch. So that's what we're going to do today, and let's get to it. All right, guys, starting out, this is really about all you need is a couple screwdrivers and an Allen wrench. The Allen wrench is just take this handle off. I've already taken the screws out of the cover for the console. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws, and they're just Phillips head screws on mine. That I'll shut that door, it keeps shutting on me. That hold this cover on. So you'll need to take this shifter off, the shifter holder, or the shifter handle, which is just the Allen set screw. Pop it out, make sure you don't lose it like I did earlier when I was trying to put it back on. And this will just wiggle right off, and set that aside, keeping that together. And of course, why would there not be a fly out of all the places? All right, after that, you lift this up off. Like I said, I took the 7 screws out of that already. I've already taken the 2 screws. Actually, there's 3 screws total, but I think whenever I got in here, there's only 3 screws. It's pretty self-explanatory. You don't have to take this whole thing out, just the top piece here with the shift indicators, park, reverse, neutral, and low. So this is actually glass. I thought that was interesting. And so it's not plastic, so be very careful with it, because I'm sure it is very, very hard to find, but it is actual glass. So you want to lift this piece up off there after you get those screws out, set it aside. There's only 2 holding it in. And then this guy right here, we'll take this. This is your little indicator that goes down from your park, reverse, neutral, low, all that stuff. Set that aside. We need to remember how that goes back in. So however you need to set it in your car to remember, you know, go ahead and do that. All right, now this part right here lifts up and off. It has a wire connecting here. I'm not sure exactly what this does. My guess is that I don't know if this is maybe a light in there, a bulb. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's got a bulb in there. So that illuminates, this right here has a bulb, and that's what this wire is to. Illuminates your shifting pattern. So your park, reverse, neutral, and low. So we'll just leave that connected and set it aside. All right, now we're getting into the neutral safety switch, and I'm going to bring you guys a little bit closer so you can see what we are dealing with here. And what this neutral safety switch does, this neutral safety switch, I'll say that like 8 million times, neutral safety switch. So your shifter comes up right here, and it actually pushes this forward and backward. As you can tell, this one I have to manually push. It should be spring loaded and move with your shifter. So as you shift back, this goes with it. And one thing I've noticed also is these are screwed into only one spot, and this thing goes all the way forward like this. This is as far as the shifter will go. So I'm going to try putting a battery on at a later time, putting a battery on and moving this forward and seeing if it will actually give me ignition whenever I turn the key over, and see if that's part of the problem. And then I may be able to work something out to where I put some sort of spacer in here to push this forward enough to where I can start it. But that still does not alleviate the problem of this not coming back manually, because what that means is that if this is stuck right here and I'm driving down the road, technically you could still kick it over. Or if you're sitting here in gear, have it in neutral or whatever, drive low, it would still kick over. So this is to guarantee, the neutral safety switch is to guarantee that you're not going to crank your engine over and it go and move forward whenever you're in gear. So anyways, we will get this off. It only takes 2 bolts, this one here and this one here, and it just pops off. There is only one way that this will plug in, because the plugs are wider on this side, the terminals are on this side, than this side. I was worried about that when I first unplugged it. I was like, oh crap, I'm not going to figure out, how this goes back in. But they are different. So these are wider back here than these are. So there's only one way that this can plug in. So pop that off, and then we'll take these 2 bolts out, and this just lifts out, and then we got to try to find another one. All right, so let's get these 2 bolts out. And we'll set these 2 bolts aside right here. Man, I am like dripping with sweat. All right, and this neutral safety switch just pulls right out, and as you can tell, it should have a spring load in there that allows it to go back and forth. This one is gone. It does not have that. We're going to unplug this, maybe, kind of, sort of. I swear this came off really easy the last time I had it plugged in, or unplugged. And I would say be very careful with this plug as well, because it's hard to tell where you will end up finding one. Don't know if you guys can see this, but like I said, the plugs on the bottom here are wider than the plugs up top. So these are wider, these are closer together. And as you can tell, there's only one way it will plug back in. So we'll just set that down in there for now. And man, I really wish I could find somebody that had one of these. They have other ones that are similar, like I said, that go on the console, or not the console, but the steering column, but they're curved. They're curved down here at the bottom, where they will set on the steering column. So these are just flat down here. So I don't know, guys. I'm going to try to figure something out. If you have any recommendations, please leave it in the comments, and let me know what you think I should do. Because I'm kind of at a loss. Besides, I ended up having to pay $120 some for one of these things. But like I said, I am going to put a battery in it and see if moving this all the way forward, because the shifter in park only moves it to about there. So I'm going to move it all the way forward and see if that does the trick. If that does the trick, maybe we can get by with this temporarily, but eventually I'm going to have to replace it anyways. So yeah, but if you have any comments, or if you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments, and I would appreciate any information that you could give me. Anybody that owns one of these, a 65 to 66 Galaxie, you know, please let me know if you've had any issues with this stuff and what you did to resolve it. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and lay this stuff back in, and I'm not going to button it up, put any bolts or screws back in yet. I'm just going to leave it kind of laying in there the way I had it actually before I put it back together to show you guys this video. So got everything laying out here. We're going to get it buttoned back up and just leave it kind of set for now until we can get this neutral safety switch situation figured out. So I'm going to leave this hang out of here temporarily so I can get that plugged in and move that neutral safety switch back and forth. But I just don't want any of this stuff hanging out here. I'll end up losing screws or scraping the interior stuff. I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to put it all back in here, and we'll see you guys later. All right, guys, I hope you liked that video. If you liked it, you like the content, go ahead and hit the like button, and please subscribe to my channel. I don't have a whole lot of subscribers right now, but the more and more I get, eventually I will be able to make some sort of profit off that, and all that money will go back into the projects that I'm doing here on the Galaxie. So what I've got coming up next, I'll show you guys, is this fuel line right here. I got it blown out. It had a bunch of dirt. Mud dauber had got up inside there and made a nest inside, but I've got that blown out. I just softened the mud and used my air compressor to just blow that stuff out of there. So this goes from the fuel pump right here up to the carburetor, and I'm going to use this tube right here to go ahead and make a exterior gas tank, exterior fuel tank, and we'll see if we can get this thing started. I got it rolling over the other day once I got everything buttoned back up, and because I got the carburetor rebuilt, which I'll have a video coming up soon showing that. It's going to probably be a longer video, but some of it's time-lapse, so that'll be good. But our neutral safety switch, our fuel line, and the other metal fuel line from the fuel pump to the carburetor. And we'll see if we can get this thing started up, man. It's going to be awesome. Thanks, guys.